Hi everybody, my name is Dr. Shalom Drimer from Light Chiropractic and Wellness, and today we're actually going to start a three-part series on a very important subject. I consider it to be the most important subject that we have to deal with in modern society, in modern life, which is sympathetic dominance. What is sympathetic dominance? So in the first part, I'm just going to talk about the autonomic nervous system. What is a sympathetic dominance? In the second one, we'll get a bit deeper into what are symptoms and how it is affecting our body when we have a sympathetic dominance. And in the third part, we're going to what things you can do to help you deal with that situation. So let's get into it. So the first part is we need to talk about what is the autonomic nervous system. So the autonomic nervous system is the part of your nervous system that controls everything that got to do with your organs, right? How your organs are functioning, from your heart, lungs, sweat, blood flow. All of those things are controlled by your autonomic nervous system, and it's called autonomic nervous system because in the past, and to some extent, we believe that we don't have much control over it. So for example, it's easy for me to control my arm, but it's much harder for me, it takes a lot more training for me to speed up or slow down the rhythm of my heart. That's where the name comes. Now, the autonomic nervous system controls, basically we can divide it into two parts. The parasympathetic nervous system and the sympathetic nervous system. Now, the parasympathetic nervous system is all about rest and digest. It's your mode of operation of your nervous system, all about relaxing, healing, recovering. Just imagine chilling out on a beach in Thailand, just like really beautiful sun and you're enjoying yourself. That is your parasympathetic in action, parasympathetic nervous system in action. A really important part of the parasympathetic nervous system is your cranial nerve number 10, the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve controls enormous amount of the parasympathetic nervous system. You almost can think of them as the same thing, although the parasympathetic nervous system is a lot more complex than that. But the vagus nerve controls almost every organ in your abdomen. It would control your heart, your liver, your gut. It can control your blood vessels, your mouth, multiple amount of things, all about making sure that we are digesting, healing, recovering. Now, the other part of or one of the parts of the parasympathetic nervous system is your 12 cranial nerves. Now, so the 12 cranial nerves are 12 nerves that are sitting at the back of the head, and they control some of the most important basic functions of our body. So for example, it might be smell, hearing, sensation of the face, the muscles of the face, the muscles of the eyes, that moving the eyes, muscles of the tongue, the ability to balance, all of those are functions of the cranial nerve. Of course, cranial nerve number 10 is the vagus nerve that we spoke about before. Another part of the brain called the PMRF, the pontomedullary reticular formation, very long name. That's another system that is sitting in the back of the head. That's another system that is dealing with things like our posture, so keeping us upright, switching on those muscles, working with our autonomic nervous system and our ability to feel pain. So when the PMRF system is affected, the threshold for pain goes down, so we feel pain more and our posture suffers. So that is a bit about the parasympathetic nervous system. On the opposite side, and for our purpose, really, really important, the sympathetic nervous system is all about survival, fight or flight, distress response. It's all about, just imagine, so if the parasympathetic nervous system is about relaxing on a beach, now imagine running away from a tiger. What is your body needs? Your body right now needs all the muscles, all the blood to go to the big muscles so you can hit or run. It is all about increasing sweat, blood pressure, heart rate. Your blood sugar needs to go up because your muscles need a lot of sugar, a lot of nutrition so they can function. Your adrenal system has to function, switch on, because you have to be able to just run away, be able to survive. So this is all of what is the sympathetic nervous system is doing. Now, what happens is that the sympathetic nervous system is not just happening in the brain, it is happening inside our spine, especially in our thoracic spine, and going into our adrenal system, so our adrenals. Now, what happens is that in our life, we have so much stress, and that stress can keep us in constant sympathetic activation. Constantly, our sympathetic nervous system is switching on, and that is what we call a sympathetic dominance. So, reasons that can happen. So, it can be mental, emotional. Think about a family, relationship, the mortgage, the boss at home, the employees, all of those things that are happening, being at school, being at the university, all of those things create enormous amount of stress on us. It might be physical. So a lot of people think of physical stresses, just lifting badly, car accident, whiplash, all of those things are true. But sitting in front of the computer can be very stressful for your nervous system, especially if you're sitting for a very long time, staring at a screen. That stresses your eyes, it stresses your brain, and that in turn can affect your posture and your nervous system. The other thing, of course, which is obvious, is chemical. So exposure to cigarettes, alcohol, preservatives, sugar, all of those things can create a big chemical load on the body that our body has to deal with. Now, the thing is, the sympathetic nervous system was created for us to be able to deal with threat immediately. I'm running away from a tiger, and then I can relax. The problem is that in our modern life, we stay in that stress. We go from a very stressful drive to work, to then a whole day of stress at work and a lot of pressure, and being able to meet all kind of deadlines, and dealing with employees and the boss, and then going home and dealing with all the stress at home. What happens is that in the beginning, the body is using our adrenal system, and after a while we can have what's called adrenal fatigue. So our adrenal system just is exhausted. And so then what might happen is that your body then moves into using your thyroid that as a way of dealing with that stress, which, if you can imagine, that might create a situation where your body might overactivate the thyroid system organ, or underactivate it, and that can create symptoms on either side. So basically, in this presentation, in this what we just did in this video, is we looked at all what is the autonomic nervous system, what is sympathetic dominance, and in the next video we'll talk about more about symptoms. Thank you.